welcome to another Fight of the Night review. This is for the one that took place last night at UFC Vegas. Oh, well, it was UFC at the Apex Center in Vegas, and it was, the Fight of the Night in question was one of the main card fights, I believe, between Jordan Wright and Dusko Todorovic, so let's break it down round by round. This one probably won't take long. I don't think I'll have a lot to talk about, but I'll try and get done what I can, so I say we go. We start in round one, and Dusko immediately goes for a clinch on Jordan. He has him against the cage. They're mostly just in clinch position for the first minute or so of this match, but they do actually switch around and they try to move and do stuff, you know, like for example, eventually when Jordan does get Dusko against the cage, he does try and go for a sort of takedown thing, but he's caught in a guillotine, and he does the whole, you know, it's the thing we see a lot in UFC fights when someone's caught in a guillotine, he spins around trying to take Dusko down. Dusko still holds the guillotine, but he lets it slip when they both fall, and the majority of round one, pretty much the entirety of round one, is just on the ground. When Dusko just tried to pull for the guillotine and fails, Jordan is still on top of him. He's moving in some really good man positions and landing some really good, a couple of good strikes from the top, not really landing a whole lot, but the fight really picks up in round one when, excuse me, when Jordan sort of gets a backside position of sorts, but Dusko, who's got amazing jiu-jitsu, reaches under himself to try and get a heel hook or a knee bar, and this is a thing he repeats multiple times, but Jordan counters it wonderfully by spinning his body around so his leg isn't in as bad of a position, and pretty much giving himself, giving a figure four like lock hold position with his legs around Dusko's, and it's a very smart thing for him to do. And it just keeps rolling throughout a lot of round one, which I actually quite like. It does eventually get to a point where Jordan does start landing strikes, and he lands some pretty hard ones from like the backman position, lands some really good punches around to slip past the guard, and really starts damaging Dusko a lot. Unfortunately, that's really all about it for round one. And yeah, Jordan wins round one. I think he was just a much more dominant fighter. Even though he was caught in some bad submission positions, he did go for a couple of his own. For example, there was a good arm triangle he went for, which he was able to, even though he did let go, he was able to turn that into a really good full mount. But yeah, round one I gave pretty openly to Jordan. I think Dusko did a really good job, but Jordan was just able to counter a lot of his grappling, and I mean, basically was on top for the most part while they were both on the ground anyway, so yeah, round one Jordan. We then get to round two, and Dusko does not go for the clinch this time. He just immediately starts going for the punches. He starts boxing, and he got some really good boxing. I've never seen Dusko fight, but he's got some fantastic boxing. And he's landing amazing punches, great combinations on Jordan. There's a great moment near the closing moment of the fight, which this fight does end in the second round, by the way. There's a great moment where he lands like a triple jab to set that up, but there's all the stuff before that as well. He's landing really good punches, he lands a really good standing elbow, he's just staying in the clinch. He's trying to, Jordan's trying to initiate the clinch as well and land some good knees up the body, but not really enough to phase Dusko, who's just clearly outclassing Jordan on the feet. Lands combo after combo. Doesn't really rip to the body a lot either. He mostly goes for the head, and it's starting to really affect Jordan. Jordan eventually does, yeah. Sort of go for a takedown in a way, but Dusko is able to counter it. Gets on top of Jordan and starts landing a lot of shots and starts landing some vicious seeming elbows. Then from like a gift wrap sort of sideman position, lands more elbows, and the referee, who I think was Chris Dione in this case, stopped the fight eventually, and Dusko wins in round two via TKO. So let's talk about it. I wish I had more to say about this fight because I did enjoy it. However, right off the gate, I do not think it's going to be a top 10 worthy contender for a couple of reasons. One, it was at the Apex, which means not really a crowd. Two, there wasn't really a whole lot of variety in the fight to me. I did like how round one was was sort of like a focused narrative in a way because of it, like, excuse my hair, because of Jordan's leg being trapped for a moment, but like the way he kept spinning out of it was really, really cool. We didn't really get that in round two, but I did like the combinations that Dusko landed in round two. It just felt very one-sided in round one, very one-sided in round two, and I like my fight nights to be a bit more even in all rounds. I mean, that's just the kind of person I am, call me picky, but I got no problems with how the fight went down. I still thought it was very fun, and I still think you should seek it out for yourself. It's not going to take long if you've got like about 8.5 minutes total, I think it took, not including the 1 minute break between the two rounds that the fight lasted. So yeah, go and seek it out. It was quite a fun one. next thing you'll see for tonight will be more costume quest. Last night I started my costume quest Let's Play tonight I'm going to be continuing it, and reminder, no PPW vs AVW this week because we had the pay-per-view on Friday and that was a lot of mental fun. So I'll see you all tonight, and then next thing I'll see for, like, in video form will probably be Thursday Music of the Week. So that'll be it. As always, thank you for watching, you're awesome.